Dealing with loneliness is tough, especially when you're far from home. That's why in this video, I want to share with you all the tips I used in the process of learning to live on my own, and everything that helped me move forward from my experience in Spain. Hi, I'm Anita Mateo, I'm Cuban, I live in Galicia, and this is my channel. Well, you'll probably be getting a few at-home videos, but I know you also like these little videos. It's not like I'm going on an exciting trip or anything. You should appreciate these short videos since I'm uploading them despite having very little time. If you watched my last video, you know why I have other projects and jobs even though I never want to give this up. YouTube, my YouTube people are the most important because thanks to YouTube, I'm here. Today I woke up and realized it's Sunday. I'm recording and uploading videos today and I'm running out of time. So give it a like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Let's see what I make for breakfast. Well, as you read in the title, lately a lot of girls have written to me who are also going through situations where they've ended up alone. For example, me, well, it's no secret to anyone. I rarely discuss my personal life, but I moved to Spain with someone and eventually lived alone. So many girls, or well, people in general, but I say girls because it's mostly girls who are going through the same thing, have written to me. I'm going to make some crackers with ham for a quick breakfast since I don't have time to prepare a big breakfast. I went to Mercadona yesterday and bought fresh orange juice. You squeeze it yourself, the kind you squeeze right there. Instead of taking the oranges home to squeeze them, you can just squeeze them at the supermarket. So yeah, Spain, thank you for inventing this whole squeeze your own orange thing at the supermarket. So I wanted to make this video because a lot of girls have written to me asking for advice. How do you deal with loneliness? How do you deal with living alone in a country that's not your own, far from everything you know? And I thought, well, look, it's a good topic for a video. Because last year, as you all know, I spent almost the whole year like that, in that way, and that was the year. Yeah. I'm doing really well, but at the beginning it was hard for me to be alone. So I want to share with you the advice, the tips, or I don't know, the things I did to deal with this in the best way. Getting used to the fact that nowadays, well, I'm not afraid of that anymore, honestly. Okay, give me 5 minutes to make myself some breakfast. I'm here racing against the clock making this video for you because I really want to make this video for you. I don't want to stop making videos since I'll have more time once I finish what I'm working on. I don't want to stop being consistent because on YouTube, consistency is key if you want to succeed. The fact of not disappearing and not stopping posting is key. It's key to be consistent and always upload scheduled content. Well, honestly, facing this kind of situation really depends on your circumstances. There are people who end up alone, but they don't share apartments. Luckily for me, I would say that something that really helped me a lot was the friendships I built. I made many of them here in Spain, and many are from the past, and many are thanks to social media. Even though I don't work with people or spend all my time surrounded by them, I work on social media. Yes, I created very beautiful bonds and friendships through social media. So that's something that helped me a lot to learn how to live like this. Like making a lot of plans because I also spend many days alone here at home. I'm a person who isn't afraid of being alone. I'm not afraid. I've always wanted to live alone at some point because I think it helps a lot. If not, I've mentioned this in other channel videos. Everything that helps you gives you a lot of maturity. It helps you manage your finances better. It helps you be more responsible. It's a liberating experience you should have at least once, though everyone experiences it differently. I know there are people who don't like it, who don't like being alone. In my case, I wasn't that afraid of it. Yes, it was hard because honestly, in a country like that, being alone with only your mom or dad to call when you have a problem is difficult. But anyway, I'm gonna tell you what I did, what worked for me, and what I can recommend to you from my experience. Always, from what I lived through in my situation. Last year, I traveled a lot. I made a lot of plans. I kept myself busy. I kept myself excited about doing something new. For example, going to Cuba for the first time and then going back to Cuba, taking trips, making plans, meeting up with my friend. I have a friend in Madrid. She would tell me, no, come to my birthday, and so on. Having plans, keeping my mind busy, or even if it was months away, knowing that something was going to happen. It keeps you excited. It keeps you more motivated and eager. You deal with loneliness differently, knowing that in a month you might have something exciting planned. So I would tell you to try to stay busy, find a way you're alone and you don't have anyone to travel with. Travel alone, I used to travel alone. The journey of going to the airport, which is really far for me, and arriving at the place. I did all of that alone, and then once I got to the place where I did know people, I had friends who welcomed me. I also did many things alone, like going to the movies or having breakfast by myself, which I used to be terrified to do. I'd sit in a cafe to edit, just me, with no one to talk to. The first time you do that, it feels odd, but after that, it seems normal and you don't feel embarrassed. In my country, though, it's unusual to see someone do those things alone. I've always said it, in Cuba, we don't usually do that, but here in Spain, I see it as totally normal, really. I don't know. Learn to enjoy your own company. Oh no, because then I'm alone with my thoughts, right? Just think about something else. Force yourself to think about something else. Everything takes time. It's true that it's not so easy from one day to the next, but the moment comes when nothing matters to you anymore. You don't care, don't have negative thoughts. Stay hopeful, that's what I'm telling you. Make a plan that you know will keep you excited at some point, and that helps a lot. I don't know if I'm explaining myself because I'm not very good at it either. I get tangled up when I try to explain and I go back and forth. Anyway, what I mean is that you should make plans and keep yourself busy. You always have to work. Well, working is also a plan that keeps you busy. When you have a little vacation, take a short trip with a friend or do something new. You get home from work and you don't want to cook, you're tired and you just lie down with your phone. Let's talk about the phone now. Why not put on some music? Are you Cuban? Put on some Cuban music, honey, and cook a little Cuban dish that reminds you of home, and you'll feel better that day. Another thing I always advise you is not to lose touch with your friends from Cuba. For example, in my case, there are a lot of people who leave the country and I don't know why, that's it. They stop talking all the time with their friends from Cuba, with their people, they talk less. Life here is busier and more hectic, but always make time, even on weekends or days off. Keep talking with your friends. That doesn't mean, it's about keeping a connection with your past, with who you were before, but it doesn't tie you down. It's simply about connecting with your old self, with how you used to be. Your friends will always remind you of who you were, they'll encourage you. I still keep in touch with my best friend from Cuba. We talk a lot. She still tells me about her life, and I still tell her about mine. And I feel like that's really good because it helps you remember who you used to be too. That's great because when you return to Cuba, you have a friend who was always there for you, along with your family. You always talk to your family. Maybe you set up a day for video calls, or if you're bored at home, you go out with your headphones and make the video call on the street in a nice cafe having a coffee. I used to do that a lot when traveling alone. Sometimes I spent 3 hours at the airport, so I'd use that time to talk to my family with video calls. I was by myself in a cafe, but talking to people I didn't feel alone and I don't know. I think that's a pretty good tip, especially with this mess of clothes I have to organize. Oh my god, literally, the days I have to record are also the days I'm doing all the housework. Another important thing is social media. Sometimes we think that being on TikTok all the time, watching content, is going to calm us down, that it's going to clear our minds. For some, it might help, but ultimately it just causes more anxiety. Because when you finally put your phone down after watching all that content, whatever it is, it overwhelms you. Sometimes you end up feeling overwhelmed by things you see on social media, and social media algorithms know exactly what you're going through. If you're feeling sad, it's gonna show you sad content because you'll end up watching a reel saying, "Today I'm feeling down, but tomorrow and you keep watching. The algorithm knows how you feel and will keep showing you that." I think that makes it worse. No, you should look for positive content, filter it, filter your content, unfollow. If you don't want to follow something, don't watch it. When you don't see it, it's like it doesn't exist and you just forget about it. And that also applies to people you don't want to follow because they bother you and you don't want to see what they post, you don't want anything, just unfollow. I always tell this to people close to me, why do you want to be here? It's better not to know anything. It's better to focus on yourself, not on other people's lives. That's something amazing when you no longer care about what others do, about other people's lives. You have more time to focus on yourself and improve yourself instead of wasting your energy watching what others are doing because that overwhelms you, that makes you feel bad. So filter it, filter your feed so that only positive content comes up for you. There's a lot of content, really nice and very positive, about how to handle loneliness and all that in a better way because I get a lot of that on TikTok and stuff, and that's what I end up watching. And those are tips from other girls too, just like me. I'm giving you advice and they empower you and tell you what to do and make you feel better, and that night you sleep better. I don't know. It's very important what you consume on social media because unfortunately, for better or worse, social media can help you a lot, but it can also make you feel really bad. So you have to see how you manage your use of social media, and also don't spend so much time looking at social media. Put down your phone, go for a walk, go to the gym, do those kinds of activities, do things for yourself. Going to the gym is something amazing. I was never an athletic person. I never liked that fitness lifestyle or anything, and I started going to the gym, and I can tell you it's the best decision I've made. I feel really good. I put on my music. I don't think about anything, just my exercises and what I want to achieve. And I go home and make myself a nice meal, and I feel really good that day. And when you start seeing results from the gym, you feel empowered, you feel amazing. And what about loneliness? That's just for a while, it's not going to be forever. Things are always changing. Think about it. 5 years ago, your life was completely different from the life you have today. So 5 years from now, the life you're going to have will be completely different from the one you have today. Recently, I made pasta carbonara and wanted to share my version of the recipe. It's not the traditional Italian one, but this is my way of making it. I made it with diced bacon, truffle cheese, which I love. I really like how it tastes with truffle cheese, and 3 egg yolks. I mixed the truffle cheese with the egg yolks. I added pepper, the bacon fat once it's fried, and lots of pepper, a lot of pepper, and we mix all of that well. That will be our sauce. We boil regular pasta, then we drain it. I add a bit of cold water, and when the pasta is ready, which takes about 10 minutes, it's done. We add all the bacon, nice and crispy, and the sauce, and I put it on a very, very, very low heat. And I add more pepper and leave it there. I know the original uses guanciale and parmesan, but I make it this way and honestly love the flavor. I would say it's Anita-style carbonara pasta, and the truffle cheese gives it an amazing touch. Do a personal project about yourself, a project focused on yourself and everything you want to change. Look, get up in the mornings and write down your thoughts. When you, for example, have something inside, when you're alone at that moment and you don't have anyone to talk to, you can write it down, and believe me, when you write it, you set yourself free, you let it go, because sometimes you can't keep things inside, you have to write them down, let them out. And when you let it out, you feel like you've taken a weight off your shoulders, and if you don't have anyone to talk to, write it down. I'm telling you, I've done all those things. Make it your own project. Decide what you want to do and change, and create your personal project like that. I want to go to the gym. I want to, I don't know, create things. For example, I want to be more consistent. I want to be more creative. I don't know what else. And make a plan and get started. Look, I organize my week a lot with this little whiteboard. I've already shown it to you on other occasions. This week is completely super busy, and that already motivates me because I already know it's going to be a busy week. I won't have time to think about anything else. You can do it too, like on Monday. Work, then go to the gym on Tuesday, go to the movies, go to the gym every day, and that's good. Stay busy working on yourself. That's simply what I'm telling you. To deal with loneliness, you have to keep yourself busy. Not looking at your phone, not looking at other people's lives is basically the main thing, I would say. When it's an important event, when something good or something beautiful happens to you and you don't have anyone to celebrate it with, celebrate it yourself. Buy yourself some makeup, that makeup you've been waiting for, or those clothes you like. Or invite a friend, tell her, let's go have dinner somewhere because this happened to me and I'm happy. Celebrate your small achievements like you did as a child when your family cheered you on. Even if your family isn't close now, celebrate for yourself. It truly empowers you. I just can't explain how good I felt, knowing that I can rely on myself and that I can live alone without any problem. Honestly, it's powerful, and it's not that you want to be like that forever, obviously, but when you go through that process for a while, then you can accept anything because you already love yourself so much. I'm not sure I'm being clear. I'm not great at making these motivational videos. Living in Spain, here in Galicia, because I have family here in Spain, but they live in another part, they have their own lives and all that. But I chose to stay here in Galicia, first of all, because I really love Galicia. I like it. I don't want to leave here just because I don't want to live alone or to be closer to my family. I will visit them whenever I want, but I like my independence. I like being here. I like being in the place I love, not going somewhere else for other people. Here I have found, I don't know, my home, my identity, what I like, what I genuinely like. I really like it and I like it. I decorated my little house too. At first, I left it just as the landlord gave it to me. Y luego como que... And if I decorate it and make it the way I like, that also gives you something to look forward to. Buying things little by little so you can decorate the house however you like. And there are still many more things I want to do, but little by little. In the end, it's true that it's not your house and at some point you'll move out. But we can't be thinking about that. We always have to keep some excitement in life. I used to think, why decorate if I might move and don't know what will happen? It's like I had the house in a way that I didn't like, and sometimes I didn't like it and I didn't feel comfortable. I disliked my living room and thought, what an ugly living room. No, I said, let's change that. I have to move and we'll decide what to do later, but I'm going to enjoy decorating my little house since I've never had one just for me. I've never decorated it because in Cuba I did live alone at some point, but I mean alone, I mean without living in my family's house. But I didn't have the chance to decorate or do things the way I liked either. So, here is where you really have the opportunity to do that. In these IKEA stores or whatever, where you can buy things for your home and some are pretty affordable. Well, honestly, this was a pretty impromptu video. And it's mainly for those people who have written to me and asked me about these kinds of things. I'm telling you, I'm not that experienced since I've actually enjoyed being alone. Look, there are days when you have a hard time. It's normal to feel sad and say, oh, I don't have anyone to talk to. I'm telling you, just write it down and you'll feel better. I wanted to make this short video for you at home. I'll try to find more time in the next few weeks to make more interesting videos with more content, like I said. Today is Sunday, I need to finish editing, and tomorrow I have to film in a distant town. As for the program Por Si No Sabes, if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the previous video. I'm working on a project with Televisión de Galicia and have very little time, but I'll do everything I can to always give you a video. Let me know what you think. If you like this one, if not, if it's the content, what content do you want to see? I send you a little kiss. Don't forget to subscribe, like all those things that are super, super important. And I'll see you next week with a new video. If I have time, yes, I hope so. Bye.